My gift to you was your gift to me.
Yep.
Which was one of the gifts I had on my New Year's resolution list, which was nice. So you wanted me to play Horizon Zero Dawn Frozen Wilds DLC. And I played all of it. I played from beginning to end, the entirety of it, minus a fetch quest and a hunting grounds, because I didn't want to do it. Because I didn't want to, because that was the same thing. So in this DLC, there's one of 3 different places you can instigate the quest, because it is a side quest from the main game. Since I essentially 100% of the game originally. After you beat the game, your save state is right before you jump into the final mission. So I'm right before the final mission, so everything's done in the game except for this Frozen Wilds DLC and the last mission. But the whole thing is technically a side quest. So they have one big side quest, which is the overarching Frozen Wilds story arc, and then they have side quests that branch off of that. And it's just like original Horizon, where you got to find this person who's lost, or I lost this in there, or hey, there is a raid happening right now.
There's a bunch of Robosaurs just skull fucking my town.
Yeah, more or less. But in this new area, there's been an uprising of what they call the Daemon, who is a demonic AI, just like they had like the corruption. What?
How many of these demonic AI do they have? Hades,
lot.
Daemon. What the fuck?
It's very similar to the Hades thing, but they
unlimited.
Yeah. Well, that was. I don't want to ruin the story of Horizon, but I mean, one of the things is
beep all this out.
Some of the AI, has gone a little bit awry, and this is one of those AI that has gone that has done that.
Is it one they refer to in the main game?
Yes, it is.
Huh.
But like,
the name doesn't ring a bell, but
it's different. The actual name of the actual AI is different than Daemon.
Okay.
The tribe calls it the Daemon because they don't know what they call it otherwise. So you go into the Frozen Wilds, which is the upper right, the northeast of the map. It opens up into a new area that you've never been to before, and it is covered in snow. It's gorgeous.
So it's not just a clever name.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. Like it's the best snow in video games of all time. It really is. Like the way it reacts, the way it
Wrong. Techno Super Bowl's best snow all time.
The way it reacts and I mean, again, in Horizon, you're doing a lot of diving and sliding, and things are smashing in and going all over the place, and all of that is manipulated in real time in the snow. And there's different levels of it too. So when you're walking just normal, like you're walking normal, it gets a little deeper. You change your pattern of running. If you're on a mount, if you're just running, the other monsters in the area, so you can use the snow a little bit to your advantage. The main story is you're going up there, and that's where the Banuk have taken up their grounds are there. You meet some of the Banuk in the main story. There's one village that they have, and you see a lot of their paintings.
You have to go collect a bunch of their fucking trophies.
Yes, and that's one of the things that you collect. So the Banuk are a little more tribal than the other ones are. Like they're a little more Native American. Like they have they're very paints and rituals and a simpler life and things like that. So
in the main story, aren't they the tribe that has actually tamed some of the machines?
Yes, they have that blue glow. And they talk about the blue glow.
They overridden the machines,
right?
Or whatever.
And they're talking about this. The blue glow is a lot of the things they talk about. Like the blue glow has come over me. That's like happiness has come over me and things of that nature. So in this area, the daemons there, it is demonizing some of the monsters in the area, making them significantly tougher. They have new monsters that were in the original game. One is a Scorcher, which is like a really big fox type thing but it spits fire and is super quick. And then they have
tie that motherfucker down.
You have to. And then you have I forget what it's called. It's called like a frost claw or something like that, which is like a bear, like a brown bear, and that thing is huge. And that thing is, you're trying to tie it down, it takes a lot. And I have like a high-end version of that tie-down weapon. It takes a lot to take those guys down, and they're big and they're super fast. And they get up on their hind legs, and they're just like spitting
shoot them in the dick.
They're just spitting out ice rocks at you, and then like it'll stop and come at your claws. It's they're all, the cap of the original game was 50. Level cap was 50.
Right.
And like I'm fighting monsters that are like 42, 45, and they're like ramped up, and then they're all surrounding it. What I really liked about this game, though, the add-on DLC, is they took a lot of familiar stuff from the original game and have manipulated it in some way, shape, or form. Like the long necks. The long necks were in the original game. That's where the towers you climb up, the walking towers you climb up.
It's like a viewpoint in Assassin's Creed.
Exactly. And you would get a view of the area, and you would know where some of the hunting grounds were, or like different waypoints were, or wherever it may have been. In this one, there is a long neck there, but it's been dismantled. So you need to kill, like, there's a bunch of different scrappers. One of their monsters called Scrappers in the area that have scrapped that long neck. So you gotta take them down, kill them, get the parts, put the long neck back together, and then you can climb up on it and actually do the long neck piece of it and get the like 95% of the map unlocks when you do that. Everything but the last piece of it unlocks. They have like the corrupted zones. Yeah. The corrupted zones were like the ones that were, they said they had monsters that were corrupted in the original game that were made them tougher. Now it's like they're not corrupted, they're demonized, but it's kind of the same idea. The difference is in the middle of the demonized zone, there's a big tower. The tower is it charges up and then puts out a pulse. And what the pulse does, if you have the that high end armor that like automatically recharges your health, it kills that armor. So that makes it tougher. 1, 2, it heals all the monsters in that radius.
Oh, what the fuck?
So yeah, it
sounds fucking annoying.
It's another layer of
Can you like
strategy.
disable that thing?
Yes,
Okay.
There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can override it if you get all the way up to it, and there is if you scan it, you can see like a yellow piece behind it, and you can shoot that enough times and it will blow up. But if you start shooting stuff, obviously, and you need to be close enough to shoot it,
right? The
monster starts seeing you, and then you're in some trouble. Like fighting those monsters, A, ramped up, and B, recharging health, is not fun. So you really need to, again, another level of planning on top of it. The main crux of the story is you're trying to get to. There's an active volcano in this area. You're trying to get there to hear the spirit voice again from one of the shaman of the Banuk. Their whole idea was that this area has like the craziest monsters, the worst monsters. Just trying to get over there they think that's what would stop the daemon if they go into this location to shut it down. And they used to hear this voice in this one computer that would tell them like some things, but the daemon took it over, and that's kind of where all this shit came up in that area. So, but I mean, long story short, like it feels more like Horizon, and I loved Horizon, and they've added more variety to the things I really liked about it. They didn't add any. They added a few new weapons. They changed the staff up, so you can have.
I know you can modify the staff now.
You can modify. You can add. Modifications to the staff. They gave you different staffs. One's like a flamethrower. One shoots like electrical bolts. So it kind of like you can do one weapon does both close range and long range. I really didn't use that because I had like the way I played the game was really like ground and pound. I would tie those things down, hit him with everything I had, and then just do it again. And I didn't use any long range weapons. The Terra Blaster, which is like the shotgun, I didn't use that at all in the whole game.
I don't even think I used that in the original game.
No, I didn't. I didn't either. But I had like, my bow and arrow was like ranked up crazy. Like I'm killing stuff in one blow from like far away. But they added some new bows and arrows too, where if you hold it back long enough, so you hold it back and like something zooms in. So if you wait for it to zoom all the way in, your damage like doubles. Oh, wow. So if you have enough time to do that and actually really do it, you can like take down some of the bigger monsters in one hit. But again, it does that same loop where it's just like you have 3 active quests at any time. You have one active quest that's really far away, and on the way you can get other 2 like knocked out or pick up different stuff or see these different waypoints or you see this different you see like a village on the map and they pick another quest that way. What Horizon I think did really well was getting you from A to B while doing a bunch of other stuff along the way. And while you're doing that, you're picking up new fast passes. And so you're picking up new campfires and get you closer. So like you're constantly, even though you're doing side missions, you're still getting closer and closer to that main quest that's in the distance. So I didn't play this game originally with headphones on, but I did this time, and it's like a completely different experience. Like I didn't like how much level of sound and like hearing that the monsters and like you can hear them really around you when you have the 360 headset on.
Yeah.
Like again, it's great graphically. The story is still really good. I like the original story better than I did in this one. But it's an add-on, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
Oh yeah.
and it's kind of tough
it's a
to
side quest, basically.
yeah, and it's tough to like, especially when you know what the ending of the game is, trying to like make it interesting and shove it into right before the end of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things I didn't really wasn't as high on as the other stuff. I still like the story, but not nearly as much as I was attached to the original one. But man, they added some new skills, and there's like 2 more of the bigger collectibles. So the way I finished the main quest, I finished almost all the side quests except for like that one fetch one like I talked about.
Right.
I did all the collectibles again. So like I felt like I was just back in that swing again, and by the time I was done with it, I felt I was done with it. So it didn't overstay its welcome. It wasn't too short. It was like 10 hours long. So I mean, and I did a lot of the extra stuff on top of it. You could probably mainline it in like 4 or 5. But overall, I mean, it was nice to be back in that world. I picked it back up right away. Like I feel like even though I didn't play it since it originally came out, which is about a year ago, I pretty much picked it up and knew what I was doing again within 15 minutes. Like I was, what took me longer was figuring out what weapons I used, how, and like when. Like I knew there was some of those like, because I knew like if I saw a shell walker, I knew what would explode on them, or if I went to one of the flying machines, I knew what piece of that to hit to make them freeze. Like that took me a minute to like pick that stuff back up, but that's like the deeper end of the strategy aspect of the game. But yeah, I mean, is it worth $20? Probably. I mean, if you enjoyed the first game as much as I did.
I think it's pretty regularly on sale on. I think I just checked and it's 15 right now.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for $15, I think that's a no-brainer if you play the first game. Excuse me. But there's enough new content in there and new ways to play the game where I felt it was still refreshing. I got to be back in that world again that I really liked and got to see a little more of. You don't really do much in terms of Aloy's story, but you understand more of the world, which is something I really like as well. So there you go.
So now you're ready to jump into New Game Plus on Very Hard?
Nope, absolutely not. 'Cause I don't think there was one.
So you're happy with your platinum, but you don't want that 100%.
I didn't get the 100%. Yeah, no, absolutely not. I got my platinum. I'm happy. I didn't get all the trophies on this one because they have like a couple new attacks. Like you can jump off if you're on a mount. You can jump off a mount and attack someone like with a jump attack and hit a bad guy. You had to do it like 10 times. Something like I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't. And it's like and like I said, when I got to the end of the main story, I did it like I did the main game. Whereas like I did everything I possibly could, and then got to the last mission and finished that, and I was done.
Yeah.
I kind of did that here too. Outside of just that one thing which I didn't do, which I'm not. It was to go fight the thing and bring it back to the girl. I've done enough of that.
But what about the girl?
She got to 2 other things. She can. It's fine. But yeah, like I said, it was like I felt like when I finished that last mission, put the control down, I'm good. I'm done. I'm happy with what I did. I'm happy with what I played. And then I started thinking like, what do I want in the next one? No, what would be what could they change? What could they add? And I don't know. Like I like this one so much that I don't know what they can really do to add to the game. The only thing I thought of was if you can mount flying robos. I think that would be really neat. I don't know how that would work technically wise in such a game that has so much stuff going on underneath the hood. But I think that would be neat. But beyond that, like I don't know. I guess that's why I'm not in the business. So that is.
You're not an ideas guy.
No, I'm not.
How would you feel though? Like now that you've played Horizon, you've played the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just hearing this is hearing this is awesome. Like I know you guys try to get me. I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't do it. I respect it though. Mm-hmm. How would you feel if this was the end though? Like if now you just said where could they go from here? What if this is it? What if Guerrilla did? You know what? We're gonna go back to Killzone now. If this is our one-off that we wanted to do, but now we're gonna go back to doing what we know and do Killzone. Like, would you be okay with that, or would you still crave more Horizon?
If the game ended,
if they didn't set it up for a sequel,
if the game ended when the credits started, I'd be fine.
Okay.
because it rounded off. I got everything
Sure.
I wanted out of it, and I really enjoyed it. Then they did the Marvel Cinematic Universe post-credit scene
God, these fucking
that set up the
games
next
doing
thing.
this lately.
Yeah, so it set up the next one,
Sure.
and I'm interested in how
Okay.
that plays out.
Okay.
But like, for me, like I would like them to kind of put obviously both the ideas from the DLC and the original game together to put into the main number 2 game, add on some new stuff. But I would like you said, like I would like them to do something different than the bad computer guys. Just something, and if the way they kind of set it up, it sounds like they are kind of doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's what that ends up being. As some new robos and some new fun ways to get around and some new fun ways to take them down.
Sure.
I'm happy.
Yeah, it's one of those things like I don't like. You're just hypothesizing like, what if this happened?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But I mean, seeing as how Horizon I think has probably been more successful than any of the Killzone games, I don't
Sure.
see it happening. I think like the biggest deviation you might see is if they went like the Final Fantasy route, where like Horizon 2 isn't called Zero Dawn; it's a completely different story, just like similar like Doomsday scenario.
Sure.
And they actually, one of the things they touch upon in the DLC is they don't know if it's locally in terms of like what's going on in that area. Is it worldwide?
Right.
So I mean, this could be something. This could be it. Like that could be the entirety of Horizon Zero Dawn's map. Could be the entirety of the world that's left.
Sure.
Or it could be a ton of more continents and things we don't even know about.
You could have dozens of more Aloys, just not Aloy.
That actually kind of would make sense story as well.
Yeah, but I mean, they kind of have an iconic character with Aloy. I don't think they're gonna walk away from that.
No, 100%. But that could be where they're going with the game
Right.
in terms of like
Long-term franchise.
not only that, but like that could be part of like there's other people like Aloy in different parts of the world,
Right.
and that's how you can travel and see different parts and go to different places and start collecting people.
Interesting.
Anyway, yeah, Frozen Wilds definitely recommended. Go pick it up if you moderately enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn, which I think if most people who played it did, go check it out. Now,